10 years after the tragic events of 9/11, European citizens have learned to live with a different perspective on security issues. The ever-present threat of terrorism has meant enhanced security measures affecting our daily lives, in some cases making citizens give up parts of their privacy. So how do we make sure our needs for enhanced security fit within the boundaries of our basic rights? We meet up with Tom Sorrell, Professor of Global Ethics and Director of the Centre for Study of Global Ethics, University of Birmingham. He is also the leader of the Detector project funded by the European Commission.
The Detector project has been running for about 3 years. It's a project that looks at the ethics and human rights implications of the use of detection technologies in counterterrorism. We have evidence as recently as 2008 that there's a very large majority of European citizens willing to give their data, willing to give their information to the authorities. The more recently a terrorist attack has taken place, the more people are willing to put up with a lot of inconvenience and a lot of intrusion.
Detection technologies cover a wide range of devices, such as body scanners, electronic gates at airports, iris scanners, face and fingerprint recognition, CCTV, mobile location trackers, data mining of databases, and aerial surveillance systems. With each step forward in terms of technological advance, Detector aims at making sure the ethical side is covered as well.
European lawmakers are going to have difficulties changing legislation to reflect ethics and human rights aspects of the use of detection technologies. That's partly because the electorates in different countries are sometimes very insistent on high security. That's sometimes because of the experiences of other electorates which make them more suspicious of security.
In September 2011, almost 10 years to the day after the terrorist attacks of 2001, the Detector project presented their conclusions and prepared for the future. Another key figure in the Detector project is Martin Scheinin, Professor of Public International Law at the European University Institute in Florence, Italy. He is also the first United Nations Special Rapporteur on human rights and counter-terrorism.
We are a group of mainly lawyers and ethicists looking at both the philosophical and the legal issues related to the use of technologies in the fight against terrorism. What's unique for the Detector project is its constant interaction with technology developers in order to identify the ethical and legal issues that arise. So we have learned a lot from the technology developers who have been invited to our closed meetings to present their products or developing products, and we've been able to give direct advice and comment how to avoid violations of fundamental rights when using those technologies.
As Detector nears completion, Tom Sorrell is keen to share some of the conclusions drawn by the project.
Most of the results of Detector are recommendations for law reform. We're very interested in law reform that restricts the use of detection technology in secret. That is, in investigations by the police that are carried out without the knowledge of the target of the investigations. Generally speaking, detection technologies that are directed at things, especially dangerous things like explosives or weapons, we think are quite unobjectionable. But as soon as detection technologies start to be directed at people, a lot of restrictions come up. Detection technologies should be used as sparingly as possible, especially when they're used secretly.
Member states and lawmakers will be making use of the findings of Detector to refine the future of European security. Now, with the new project aimed at taking off where Detector landed, Martin Scheinin is also looking ahead.
This has been a long decade since 9/11, 2001, but I think Europe has survived, the law has survived. Terrorism couldn't defeat the principles of democracy and fundamental rights. And now it's time to move on. Personally, I will be the coordinator of a new research project which will look into surveillance technologies from the perspective of ethical issues and legal limitations to the use of surveillance. It builds upon the experience of Detector, and we are now bringing in end users, municipalities and police authorities, as well as technology developers as actual partners within the project. So we'll continue the interaction between academics, end users and technology developers.
While Europeans carry on with their daily lives, Tom Sorel and Martin Scheinen, with the backing of the European Commission, will continue their work to ensure citizens can do so safely without giving up their freedoms and their basic rights.